A NATO summit in Madrid has wrapped up. The alliance's chief, Jens Stoltenberg, says far-reaching decisions have been made to adapt defence for the future. He also emphasised unity among member countries.
We face the most serious security situation in decades, but we are rising to the challenge with unity and resolve. The decisions you have taken in Madrid will ensure that our alliance continue to preserve peace, prevent conflict, and protect our people and our values.
Mr. Stoltenberg also addressed differences among NATO's members in light of Turkey's weeks-long block of Finland and Sweden's membership, which was finally dropped this week. The NATO chief says the alliance will never be a place where all allies agree on every issue.
We are 32 different countries with different political parties in government and different culture, different history, different geography from both sides of the Atlantic. So you will always find differences. And for me, that's not a weakness. That's just an expression of the strength of NATO, that we are democratic nations with a variety of different opinions on many issues.
A closer look now. Rosie Bircher joins us from Madrid. Rosie, certainly an eventful meeting in Madrid, but what will be regarded as the key takeaways from 2 days of talks?
Well, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg billed this as a historic summit, and some historic shifts do appear to be underway. Now, NATO allies have agreed on a new strategic concept. We heard it discussed before in relation to China, but in relation to Russia, they have officially branded Moscow as the most significant and direct threat to the security of the alliance. Now, in the previous document, NATO's previous strategic concept, which was written more than a decade ago, Russia was described as a potential partner, so quite a turnaround there. Then more broadly, NATO has plans, according to NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg, to ramp up its rapid reaction forces from about 40,000 currently to at least 300,000. Those forces are dedicated to protecting the alliance's eastern flank, countries like Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, which feel pretty exposed to security risks just now due to their proximity to Russia. Now, that's something which has been welcomed by these nations. Estonia's Prime Minister Kaja Kallas said that her concerns had been heard, that her country's worries had been listened to, but she says she wants to see these changes coming into place quickly and for the details to be revealed. For now, no details on exactly where those troops will come from or be stationed. That is something which NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg says is still being developed. But of course, perhaps the most significant for the history of NATO itself is its enlargement. Finland and Sweden have been invited officially to join the alliance after Turkey dropped its veto on their accession, and they are now well on their way to becoming members 31 and 32 of NATO, abandoning and reversing a policy of decades-long and even centuries, in Sweden's case, of military non-alignment.
Talk to us also about NATO's innovation fund. That's that €1 billion invested in emerging technologies to give the alliance, the militaries and militaries a decisive edge. Jens Stoltenberg calling it unique, a first of its kind. How significant is it?
Well, NATO says that is significant. That's something that was agreed by leaders, outlined in their summit declaration. They say this innovation fund, its purpose is to bring together the public sector, the private sector experts to try and increase the alliance's technological edge. But also being discussed here today is funding for the alliance itself. That has been in the past a thorny topic, but NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg has announced that a considerable increase to NATO's central funding has been agreed. No details revealed, however, yet. Now, defence spending is also a thorny topic among NATO allies. The United States, of course, a giant in terms of its defence budget, but here in Europe, the defence spending was in the past even going down. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, the tide has turned, and countries including Germany and the Netherlands have announced major increases in their defence budget. Also, the Baltics putting more funding into their defence. So that's something which will also go down in history from this summit, a turning of the tide on defence spending among NATO allies and an increase to NATO's own budget.
All right, leave it there for now. Rosie Bircher in Madrid.